are on show that's no less true of those who have undergone the born-again experience or something comparable. In the movie, those who surrender to the alien force behave as mindless, uncritical robots, blindly following every command or whim of their new cause. Those who have undergone the born-again experience adopt a similar mind block to any concepts or ideas coming from a source other than the one to which they have succumbed. But undoubtedly, the most important parallel is that in the movie, the hero, the sane man, the sensible man, was doing everything in his power to either escape from or abolish the alien force and its pods. And when it comes to the Bible in general, and Jesus in particular, that's no less true of sanity today. In the movie, the hero puts up great resistance, escapes from the town controlled by his opponents, is chased by them through the hills out onto a busy highway occupied by people still unconquered by the alien force. As he's running up and down the highway, saying and doing everything in his power to awaken the unwary, a leader of his band of pursuers tells the others to stop the chase and then turns to them and says, quote, "Never mind, let him go. They'll never believe him anyway," unquote. How well that applies to today's society. How well I know the feeling of that poor man running up and down the highway trying to alert Americans to the ideology that is seeking to make inroads everywhere. Talking about taking people, especially the country's youth, reminds me of a letter I received several years ago from a disgruntled supporter. He stated, quote, "There were some Jehovah's Witnesses here on Saturday, a mother and daughter duo. The daughter was about 10 years old and looked down at the floor while her mother handed me a pamphlet describing how the end of the world was coming and I was going to become worm meat if I didn't think as they did. So I asked the mother, why are we being punished for Adam's sin? And if we aren't, then why did Yahweh promise a Redeemer who would redeem us from Adam's sin? Then I added, doesn't original sin contradict Deuteronomy 24:16 and Ezekiel 18:20? Those are verses that say you shouldn't be punished for your father's sins, and vice versa. The daughter perked up and smiled broadly at me, while her mother wrote down the scripture I cited. The mother promised to return the following Saturday, but she never showed," unquote. In response to this letter, I stated, "You have inadvertently touched upon a very important aspect relative to what our publication is all about. That little girl you referred to has probably been indoctrinated all her life to believe that the Bible is the inerrant word of a God, and she should be subservient to its maxims. She's probably tired, if not sick, of hearing about religion in general and the Bible in particular. If she has any critical thinking skills, she probably has serious doubts about the things she has been taught, at least some of the things. She'd probably like to tell people what she really thinks, but doesn't dare for several reasons. First, she loves and/or respects her parents and doesn't wish to hurt their feelings. Second, she probably has an honest-to-goodness justified fear of what will be done to her if she tries to deviate from the prescribed path. Third, she knows she doesn't have sufficient knowledge about the Bible or its inadequacies to expose the book, so she goes along with whatever's said. Fourth, she's probably been so intimidated and browbeaten that she doesn't dare challenge the validity of what she has been told out of a fear of being demeaned, degraded, or put down. A child of that age is very concerned about his or her self-concept. And what could be more damaging and hurtful than being told you are raising stupid, ignorant, or devil-inspired questions? And finally, because of so much indoctrination, she's probably gripped by a lingering fear that perhaps her mother is correct and some sort of hell does await critics of the Bible. When you asked that little girl's mother some difficult questions for which the little girl could see the mother had no adequate response, you did what any thoughtful, questioning child would like to do. You dared to question the mother's most prized possession. No doubt there are some aspects of no doubt there are some aspects of Scripture that child has trouble with or just doesn't buy. But she has always been discouraged from questioning the Bible and has never been encouraged to critique its fundamental concepts. You did it for her, and for that you received a smile. That completes our presentation, and please join us later for the 31st edition of Biblical Errancy Commentary, when we'll continue showing why the Bible is nothing more than the flawed composition of some fallible human beings. Thank you for listening.